Hello, beautiful people.
And welcome to the Innerscape podcast with me, Judith.
And with me, Tina. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Tina, and hello to all of our listeners. Happy Friday and happy first of the month. It's spring, finally. And as the British say, pinch punch, first of the month.
What does it mean?
Well, it's coming from the medieval England, and so it was intended to make Witches' Week, so it's connected to witchcraft. And they believe that with a pinch of salt, they can weaken the witches and banish bad luck. So the saying is still alive nowadays. And it's just a way to wish good luck in the beginning of the month.
Nice.
Good luck to you as
But
well.
I love it.
And it's good.
Good luck to everyone. So, as we promised at the last episode, we are returning today with a special guest who is going to introduce the Wim Hof Method to us.
Yes, and I would like to have this honor to welcome you, JC, who's sitting next to me. You are the very first guest of our podcast, so welcome.
I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you for coming. And we're really excited to have you here, although you're not an expert of today's topic, but you have a great knowledge of the Wim Hof method that we're going to discuss today. So would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and how you came across this Wim Hof method?
Absolutely. Well, I'm JC. I'm 38 years old. I'm actually French. Unfortunately, I'm French, I would say now. And I'm really happy to be here because this journey is it's kind of interesting. This vision is more like from a weirdo to a hero, in a way that I started to take cold shower 15 years ago. And like for people, it was just something super weird. And now it's kind of a trend, and people tend to do cold shower almost every day. I mean, as I can hear around me. My first cold shower was like technically after a massive hangover, because I was something like 23 years old, I think. And then I had to work the day after, and the only way for me to wake up my mind was to, okay, let's try this cold shower. Let's just try to make myself better in this way. And then after 2 minutes under the shower, I was screaming for sure, because that was my first. But the reaction was just instant. I could feel that my body was just awake and the alcohol was away. And then I felt like, okay, that's maybe something new that I wanted to try. So the day after, I took another one, the day after another one. And now it's just becoming like a pure addiction. And I really cannot finish any shower with warm water.
Okay. Hi, Jesse. Welcome to the show. I'm really happy that you joined us today, partly because you were the one who introduced the cold shower to me, and ever since it has been an amazing tool in my morning routine. And I just wanted to ask you that when you started the cold showers, did you hear it from anybody else? Was it recommended, or do you read about the Wim Hof method, or it just popped into your head naturally?
Nothing. When I was 23, 24 years old, I was absolutely not into being health conscious, like really not. I was not vegetarian by the time. I was, taking care of myself, but not nothing about food, nothing about sports, nothing about being healthy in general. So I don't know, I discovered it like this just by trying. But I think Wim Hof was not even famous by the time. So I don't know, it was just a test for me.
So just to introduce this Wim Hof guy a little bit, a few words about him. He's a Dutch motivational speaker, and he's an extreme athlete, noted for his ability to withstand low temperatures. And he previously held the Guinness World Record for swimming under the ice. So that's interesting.
And he's a really crazy dude. He has like such a big energy. He went through so many things. He lost his wife after a suicide, And then after that, he went through a really, really massive depression. And the only way for him to heal himself was going into cold water. And I mean, you can feel it when, even for me, I barely feel bad, but if I have like kind of a little stress inside me, just taking a cold shower make me so relaxed after that. So I kind of feel the vibe of the man that went into something really deep and just wanted to heal himself.
That's very interesting. I think we pointed this out in the previous episode that, according to my knowledge, they use the cold showers in therapy to cure panic attacks because it's a shock to the system and it really brings you back to the present, because many times anxiety means that we're dwelling on the past, or we're afraid of the future, or we really uncertain about certain aspects of our life, and cold shower really brings you back to the present moment, therefore calms you down. But if I'm not mistaken, the Wim Hof method doesn't only consist of the cold showers.
No, also the breathing exercises. So the technically implement, I mean, there's millions of different breathing exercises, that's for sure. But he technically focus on inhaling and exhaling from your nose or from your mouth. There's not specific way of doing it. The best way is just how you feel it. So you have 20 rounds or 25 or 30 rounds. You can just do as much as you want with being conscious, of course. So you inhale and then you exhale, and you do that 20 or 30 times. And there's a moment that you have to hold your breath. And breathing from your nose or breathing from your mouth, it's kind of, it depends of how you feel, because I feel for myself that when I'm breathing from my nose, I can go deeper into kind of a sort of meditation, because I'm kind of feeling high from my own oxygen, while breathing from my mouth makes me more resistant and I can hold my breath for longer. I think like it's about when I breathe from my mouth, I can stop breathing for 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes, but from my nose it's only 2 minutes. So I try to do one round from my nose, one round from my mouth. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
It's interesting because for me it's kind of the opposite.
Okay. But I think you take more oxygen if you breathe from your mouth. It feels that your lungs are getting bigger than if you breathe from your nose.
That's something, because I was also listening to Huberman Lab. He's a neuroscientist at Stanford School of Medicine, and he has this podcast, the Huberman Lab. It's really geeky stuff, but he was also talking about the breathing, the proper breathing, and he was saying that through your nasal, you breathe in more oxygen. So what I feel
Yeah.
as well, that through my nasal, I can, my capacity is way bigger than when I'm, for example, doing mouth breathing.
I also listened to a podcast with a breathing expert who said that the correct breathing technique should be through your nose. There was a really long podcast episode where he introduced the correct way of breathing to stimulate the right organs, and just to also get your mind and body in its optimal natural state. And he said that you should be breathing through your nose. And ever since I have read other articles and researches where they train you to sleep this way, so there is a way where you can use a tape for your mouth overnight, which I
Yeah,
think is quite bizarre. But the point is that you should not sleep with open mouth. You should breathe always through your nose. So I was quite surprised when you said that according to Wim Hof, you can use both.
yeah, but I mean, I think Wim Hof is more talking about this exercise, the Wim Hof breathing exercise, because I also saw a video with Wim Hof explaining that throughout the day you should breathe normally through your nasal passages, because that's the obviously the healthiest way, because it's protecting you from any viruses and like fungal infections.
Filter the air.
Yeah, it's filtering the
Yeah.
air. So, but like you're talking about specifically about the Wim Hof method breathing exercise. And I think it's interesting that for you, and I guess for many people, then it's easier to breathe through your mouth because we're all different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a proper topic. I've seen people commenting on his video, like, how should I breathe? Like, for so many people, it's more natural to take, like, I take an example. When you're going to dive into the water, are you breathing from your nose or from your mouth? When you
Mm.
have to take oxygen, I mean, for
Mm.
me, if I have to dive, I'm like taking it from my lungs,
Yeah,
from my mouth. I
yeah, it's
mean,
true.
so I don't know. It feels like more natural in a way, and really, you feel the amount of oxygen that you can take between your mouth and your nose, and it feels way more from your mouth. But maybe it's just in my mind. But
No, I mean, I think you follow your feeling.
I just wanted to ask, so how is it connected to the cold showers or the cold bath?
well, to the cold shower, I don't think there's any. I mean, or you really have like super, super, super cold water, and then you're able to stay up to 20 minutes. But I think the breathing exercise is more for ice bath, which requires a lot of oxygen, and it's also really, it calms you down before entering in the water, and it also kind of connect to yourself in a way that you know that your body is going to suffer and you're kind of ready for it. It's more like a warm up before something, before a sports or whatever. It feels like this for me. So I've tried as well to do the ice bath without the breathing techniques, and it's a game changer. I mean, it's totally different. Like, I felt without the breathing exercise, I feel more stress. I feel more that I need to breathe when I'm in the water. I have this hyperventilation, like, but then if I breathe
Mm.
before, I can enter in the water in such a relaxing way. I mean, I was filming myself many times, and I can see also on my face that I'm way more relaxed on it. So, but other than that, so I'm doing the breathing techniques every day. It's like a meditation, but I'm not saying that I like to be high, but I like to be high on my own oxygen. Technically, I feel that breathing through my nose for like 20 minutes doing this exercise give me this a little dizziness, a little way of connecting to myself. I kind of feel dizzy after,
Mm.
but I like it because I know that it's coming from my own oxygen. It's
Yeah,
just, yeah, that's
but
the,
that's what Wim Hof says. No, it's a
yeah,
free way to get high.
yeah.
And I really experienced this
Mm.
as well because I think I tried the breathing exercise from Wim Hof before you.
Mm,
You were in Australia, and I was at home in my bed, and I tried it with an, I don't know, it was kind of like an online challenge. So I had Wim Hof saying the breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, like instructions. And then I was laying down in the bed and I did the nose breathing. And I think through the nose breathing, you get even more high because of the more oxygen that comes in your body. And I don't think it was a good idea to do it without letting anyone know
yeah.
because I was
Mm-hmm.
really like almost unconscious
Mhm.
at the end, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
I was super high. It was really strange feeling. I never had this before, so it was a really interesting, a little bit scary experience. But after, I was super
Oh.
energized.
I mean, when you do the breathing session, the moment that you stop doing it and you stay on the lotus position, you really feel that you feel your heart. You feel that your fingers are also kind of numb, and that's the moment that it's really easy to empty your mind because you feel all your body into like a weird feeling, but it makes you feel it's such a good feeling.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds incredible. I should definitely try it when I go to the next music festival to
Before that,
save
yeah.
some money on booze. But okay, let's say I've never met this Wim Hof method. How can I learn this breathing technique? And also, can you please explain what an ice bath is? Because you mentioned this earlier, and I don't know how to imagine this.
You put some ice in your bath and then you just take an ice bath. No, I mean, like,
Oh, okay. So you can do it at home in your bathroom.
absolutely, you can do it at home. It's just not so good for the planet because it requires a lot of water. So what I would recommend is just to, so you don't start the Wim Hof journey by just, okay, the lake is frozen, I'm jumping in the water and that's it. No, that's really not the way because it's super dangerous. I think they
Mm.
counted in less than 10 years 29 people died from it, because you
Oh,
have to
wow.
prepare yourself. If you never took any cold shower, like, this is not the way to do it. So first I would say train yourself for a month by taking cold shower every day, from 20 seconds to 1 minute the first week, and then second, third weeks, if you want to go up to 3 minutes, that's great. And then, so for me it was kind of easy to do the ice bath because I was in St. Moritz in Switzerland and the lake was totally frozen. So the water was between 2 degrees to -2 degrees. So that's
Ouch.
Hmm.
extremely cold. But I'm so used to it that, and still, even though like I'm really used to cold water, it was still really hard for me to enter for the first session. But the important things is to really do the breathing exercise before, get your body used to the cold as well. So you can already start to, I mean, you're gonna look like a weirdo, but just remove your shirt, try to walk on the ice, try to make your body ready for the cold. Just don't go straight in the water. That's not the way to do it. And don't go there alone. Try to always have someone with you, because we never know what can happen. Like, for me it's all
Yeah.
good, but I know that for some people, like, if you smoke cigarettes every day, you drink alcohol, and then you just decided the day after to go to do an ice bath, that's not the right way to do it. Just prepare yourself, be
Mm.
conscious, and try to read your body. That's the most important.
And do you actually need the breathing exercise before, or you can skip it?
No, it's, I mean, I'm not sure if it's like really necessary, but it helps so much. Like I was saying before, the hyperventilation, that's like, you feel that if you don't do the breathing exercise, you're gonna while you be in the water. So then you're gonna put your body in such a stress that you just want to go out of the water, and you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And how do you learn this breathing exercise?
Oh,
This
Uh,
yeah.
Wim
Can you
Hof
walk
one?
us through the steps, maybe?
Yeah, so there is an application called the Wim Hof Method. It's not a free application, but you have, like, I think five sessions for free. It's a great application. I love it because I can see, like, I can see my last record. I can see how many rep I can do, and it's a good way of. It's a motivation more than keeping track. I mean, I really don't mind to have track of this, but it's good for me to see the evolution of holding my breath. For example, I think the first time that I did Wim Hof breathing exercise, I was holding for maybe a minute, and now I can stay up to 3 minutes 50, let's say. So it's just a good motivation.
Oh.
There's a nice community as well on the app. Yeah, so you can learn through it. You can set up the speed. You can stop whenever you want as well. They don't force you to hold it for 10 minutes. No, you can, after 1 minute, if you're fed up, you can just stop it. And yeah, it's available on Apple, and I guess for Android as well.
But do you actually need it to do the exercise, or you can do it on your own?
You can do it on your own. It's just that if you do it on your own, you kind of have to count, which is annoying in a way that you don't focus on yourself. You focus more on the counting. And for me, I found it like useful to be able to hear someone telling you, like, inhale, exhale, hold. It's
Hmm.
something easy but stupid, but it's easier.
Okay. So the steps are
Oh.
inhaling, exhaling for like a.
20 rep or 25 rep. It depends how you feel. It depends also, like, I think this breathing exercise is also really connected to meditation in a way that meditation is not about time, it's more about power that you're going to put in. And I think it's the same with the breathing techniques. Like, I can do 45 rep, but if I don't put the effort, if I don't put the energy inside, it doesn't like worse the time. But if I do 20 rep and I really focus on myself, if I really feel the oxygen coming in my body, then those 20 rep are going to be super powerful.
Yeah, and I just really want to mention here for those who might have never ever thought of doing any breathing techniques, what other benefits they can have from practicing some. Because it's incredible everything you just said. Our body is geared for. You said, okay, don't jump into the ice cold lake without practice, but once you build up resilience and you strengthen your body, you can do it, because we were we were supposed to be connected more to nature, and we were supposed to have this immune reaction to anything, to our circumstances, but because our lifestyle have changed, it disconnected us from the natural environment, and our age-old survival mechanisms are no longer triggered, and we have lost touch with our inner power. But it can be strengthened. And so with breathing techniques you can enhance your vitality, you can reduce your stress levels, and increase your immune response to deal with bacteriums and viruses.
That would be good to mention this as well, that like in the past, winter were really cold and we could really feel the effect on us. But now that we live in a almost everyday life 20 degrees apartment, then our body is really not used to attack the cold when the cold is coming. So going into a shower which is like probably 5 degrees makes your body stronger for when winter is coming, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and we were talking about it at the last episode, that with the cold showers, this is how you started, JC, that you experienced hangover. But we talked about it, that you can increase your energy, you can reduce your stress levels,
Yeah.
and heighten your focus and determination and resilience, and you can really increase your willpower, and it affects your sleep later, your immune system, your, very important to mention, your endorphin production, so it elevates your mood.
There's also a crazy increase of dopamine, which is more than 250%. I mean, it's just really a lot.
Yes, but there is one thing that I read recently when I was preparing for this episode, that it also reduces inflammation and swelling, which is quite obvious because it's cold water. So when you have an inflammation, usually you put something
Yeah.
cold on it.
Yeah.
But athletes use it for recovery, and I have a personal experience with it because I had a bad inflammation in my back for years, and since the cold showers, it took me a long time, but I can feel the difference now,
Mhm.
and it's absolutely amazing.
I can back this up. I just had a huge muscle inflammation because I was dancing like 6 hours. And just today, I was using the cold shower to decrease the inflammation in my thighs. And it's really working. It's crazy.
To recover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask also about the cold showers. What temperature would you or Wim Hof recommend?
Well, precisely, I don't know, because also it depends of right now, living in Switzerland, the cold water is extremely cold during winter. But I guess if you take a cold shower in Spain, it's probably different.
Mm.
So I don't know how they manage there, for example, but I would say if you have to start first cold shower, you don't start by straight super cold. Like start with warmish water, and then step by step you go into the cold. And don't start with your head first. Start behind your knee. That's what I always recommend to people, behind your knees, and then you go up, 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 and then you finish either on the top of your head or just in your on your neck.
Yeah, I was doing that wrong.
Yeah, for so
I
many
s-
people, they
I
start with the
started,
shoulder
yeah,
and
straight on the chest.
yeah, but something which is
Yeah.
also
Wow.
super good in the morning. I mean, I feel it on me. Like sometimes I wake up and have massive wrinkles after a hard day. a hard night as well. And then just to put like, so I start my entire body under the water, and then I put my face under the cold water, and you feel the effect. You feel that your skin is getting better and better,
Mm,
and you look way better after a cold shower than a warm shower. I mean, that's, for me, it's just straight.
true.
I can report back the same because I have long nights, especially nowadays. I'm dancing a lot, late nights, and I wake up with popped eyes and face, and then after a cold shower, it's all gone. So
Yeah.
So
it
people,
definitely
if you want to
helps.
look beautiful, then a cold shower is the
Yeah,
way.
I mean, it's better for your skin as well, because you have, we have a type of we have a little fat, let's say, on the top of our skin, and then if you stay like 15 minutes under warm water, then all this fat is gone, and this fat is super important for us. So I'm having eczema almost every year.
Oh, you mean the
Yeah,
wax?
the
The
wax. Yeah,
wax on
yeah,
the skin?
yeah.
Yeah.
And like for people with like skin issues, I think taking cold shower is the first step that they should do, because if you burn yourself with hot water
Oh,
and eczema and all those things, I mean, this is just makes sense. Also, washing your hair, it's important to wash your hair with cold
yeah.
water.
Yeah, they don't recommend warm.
Yeah.
No, or at least
No.
warmish water,
Yeah,
because
but
it's
so
Finish it
that's
up.
why my skin looks better since I take the cold showers. Because I
Yeah.
really see the difference, but my diet was not changing.
yeah.
The only factor that was changing in my life, the cold shower. So, okay.
I mean, it's crazy. Just it's just supernatural to take cold water, cold shower, but it's something that is not into people's mind yet. But
Yeah.
I believe that the trend is coming up, and it's a free way of taking care of yourself. And I wanted also to mention a point about that, the amount of water. So if you take a 3 minutes cold shower, it also has a massive impact on the planet, because I was just making a little
Hmm.
little calculation. Like when you take a 3 minute cold showers, you approximately using 60 liters of water, which is already a lot. When you count 60 liters, it's quite a lot. But for people who takes a 12 minutes warm shower, which is approximately an average in people's house, it takes 240 liters of water, which is
Wow.
87,000 liters per year. I mean, it's hard to represent 87,000 liters, but I think it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good
that's
for your
crazy.
for your pocket as well, because you're saving money on electricity and on water.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I
good.
think it's very convincing because it saves the planet, it saves your youth. It's, as you said, it's definitely, it boosts metabolism and it keeps the elasticity in your on your
Yeah.
skin. So it keeps you young and fresh and energized. So I can't see any argument on the other side apart from it's so nice to have a hot shower.
And also, like, it's not so romantic when you want to take a romantic showers, and the cold shower is not the same.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, no,
No.
take romance back to the bedroom.
But I mean, back in the days with Tina, when we were taking a normal warm shower, she always has to go out of the shower before me, because I cannot finish a shower with warm water. So it was always, all
Yeah,
right,
I
see you soon.
remember this. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going. Bye.
I mean, I don't know if,
Okay, so we figured out that JC and Tina is a couple, so they don't just meet up for showering together, saving water in the neighborhood.
it was just for the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. No, we didn't mention in this recording, but I think I was mentioning you so many times as my fiance in the previous
Yeah,
episodes that
that's
it's
true.
kind of obvious for people now.
So I don't know if you heard about this Raynaud sickness. It's
No.
yeah. So I believe I had it. It's hard because if you ask a doctor, I mean, technically the problem were like when it was cold, my fingers were like almost blue, and I couldn't touch anything. I couldn't move them. So they called it Raynaud sickness. And since I'm taking cold shower and ice bath, it totally disappeared. So now I can handle
Hmm.
cold like without any issues. So for people who suffer from cold, the best way to heal it or to get rid of it or to fight it is just to go into cold.
Oh yeah, I've seen a video with Wim
Amazing.
Hof that someone was asking him what to do if the circulation in my hands and my feet is not so good. Then I guess cold shower or like ice bath is not for me. But then he recommended that start with your hands
Hmm.
first, that you put it in ice water for 2 minutes, and then separately do the same with your feet, so you get used to it. And when you feel kind of comfortable with this, then you can start to put all your body
Yeah.
in the ice bath,
Hmm.
which I found interesting. And what about
It's very
this
interesting.
movement, this tai chi movement that you do
It's
after the breathing exercise? I always wanted to ask you this, but I never dared.
it's coming from Wim Hof as well. Is the horse stance? I don't know if you heard about. I think it's coming from it's martial art. I think it's a sumo position.
Mm,
You know what's I mean? It's a squat, but a straight squat.
mm.
Do you know what I mean or not?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I've
I will
seen
look
it.
into it.
Yeah, horse stance. Technically, like Wim Hof is doing this exercise after coming out from the ice bath to warm up his body. So you have to scream. I don't scream, but yeah, I like to do this exercise because it's really good for my hips. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing it after the ice bath, and I also took the train with them.
Yeah, he's like
Oh, wow.
squatting in this really wide squatting position. So his legs are pretty wide, and then he's doing this tai chi hand movement, and then doing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really part of the Tai Chi.
But
Yeah.
it looks powerful, to be honest.
So, do you do it straight after the cold shower or first dressed up? It's a crucial point.
No
No,
comments.
no. I do, technically I do. So yeah, I wanted to mention this. Before I was doing so, waking up, doing the breathing techniques, going into the cold shower. Now I'm doing the opposite. I wake up, then I go straight into the cold shower, and then after I do the breathing techniques. Maybe
Mm,
I'm the only one to do that, but like this, I'm way more awake, so I can connect way more to my body. I'm not that sleepy, so I have this feeling that I have more power to go into a meditation. I don't know, it's so different. Yeah.
mm,
Hmm.
that makes sense. Yeah, it just really blows my mind that both of the elements that we're talking about here are completely free and approachable.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can take a cold shower anywhere. Cold shower is available anywhere. I mean, okay, I'm talking about Western countries. I'm aware that in many parts of the world, unfortunately, there's a water shortage. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about where we live. Is the cold shower is everywhere. It's cheap, and it's the same with breathing,
Yeah.
that it's with us. It doesn't cost anything. It's always here with us, and we can use it for so many things. As mentioned before, in therapy, you can use to calm yourself down because with breathing regulates the nervous system. But what I have the most experience in is pranayama in yoga. As I mentioned earlier, I've been practicing yoga for quite a few years now. And in Sanskrit, prana means life energy,
Mhm.
and yama means control. So even in Sanskrit, they say that with breathing you control your life energy. Because in yoga there are several breathing techniques. I don't even wanna explain all of them, but for example, there is ujjayi breathing, which in other words you can call fiery or warrior breath, which is an energizing breathing technique.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's very useful in the start of the day. But there is sitali breathing, which is a slow, relaxing breathing technique, which helps you to lower your body temperature. Therefore, it contributes to a good sleep. And you can use alternate nostril breathings
Yeah.
or three-part breaths, where you breathe in into your abdominal and then you keep it there and then release it through your chest and then in your nose. So there are several breathing techniques depending what you want to achieve. You can put yourself to sleep. There's this military breathing technique, the 4-7-8. You might have heard about
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
We
Yeah.
breathe in for 4, keep it. So it's an internal breath retention for 7 count, and then you breathe out for 8 count.
Yeah.
And then some people believe that you should also hold it after you breathe
Yeah.
out. So it's just unbelievable that this is a superpower
Yeah.
in our hands,
Yeah.
in our body.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Breathing is so amazing. I think my favorite kind of breathing pattern or exercise is the box breathing, because it's just really simple and it keeps also this inhaling, keeping it, exhaling, and then keeping it. It's so powerful to calm your mind in any situation.
Yeah.
And I've heard it also in this Huberman Lab podcast that breathing is such a unique function of our body because it represents this bridge between our conscious and our subconscious mind. Because breathing is the only function of our body that still works when we are subconscious while we are
Yeah.
sleeping. And as soon as we wake up, we can take control of it. Like in a second, you can really control this whole function of your body, which
Yeah.
you cannot do with your digestive system or even with your thoughts. Like so many of us are controlled by our thoughts.
Yeah.
We really have to learn it
Yeah.
how not to be controlled by them. And breathing is just a natural thing that we do and we can control. It's really
Amazing.
amazing.
It's so automatic that we stop thinking that, oh, actually, I'm breathing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what one of my dance teachers just said the other day, that you don't have to remind yourself to breathe
Yeah.
in, but you have to remind yourself to breathe out.
Yeah.
Because lots of times when you're stressed or nervous, or when it was applied in dancing, that when we do a pivot or a rotation, we have to breathe out,
Yeah.
because therefore we relax our muscles, and this is how we can relax our mind, our body. And yeah, guys, I think if there is anything to take away from this episode, is that use the tools that you have with you.
Especially
Use
when
your
they're free.
breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Shall we round it up?
Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful closing. Yeah, there's so many things to talk about still.
Yeah.
About Wim Hof Method and breathing and just in general, about cold showers in every way, but our time is up.
Thank you so very much, JC, once again to join us today and share your experience with our audience. I think we've learned lots of interesting facts today.
Yes, thank you, JC. We love to have you here and hope to see you maybe in another episode.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the invitation, and it was really nice to be here with you and to share my experiences. And just wanted to say that cold shower is a super simple and easy tool that you can implement on your morning routine, and it's gonna change your life. I have no doubt about it.
Thank you, JC, and thanks to everyone who listened to us today. We will see you very soon.
See you soon.
If you like this episode, please leave a review, share your thoughts in a comment, and spread the word of our podcast so it can reach many who might need to hear it.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and leave us a 5-star rate if you're happy with our podcast, and or subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content and discussions.